Why not? Okay. So, hello, Infra. How are you, mate? You good? How are you? All right. It's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. Amazing. I got it. Working on my phone as well, so that I can see the messages on my phone and I can see them on the PC next to me as well. So that's amazing. So thanks a lot for joining me once again, Infra, but this time on a different platform. I can see your comments perfectly. I hope you can hear me very well, Infra. Let me know, please, if you can hear me or not. Hello, live Fortnite. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my stream as well, to my new live video. This time I'm going to talk about vocabulary, as I said, and different techniques and different ways to learn new vocabulary for people or students who are interested in IELTS exam, IGCSE exams, GCSE exams, yeah, IB, A levels, and different exams, or even those second language learners who are just trying to learn English language and get to learn new vocabularies and new strategies to enrich their vocabulary and their vocabulary, basically. Okay, so I'm trying to look at the comments and see if you guys can hear me very well. I would like to know if you can hear me very well or not. Just let me know, please. I want to know if my voice level is okay. I just want to make sure that my voice level is okay. Okay. All right. So I think that's a. All right. Can you hear me live Fortnite? Is my voice clear? Live Fortnite, is my voice clear? Can you hear me? Yeah, everything is good. Or will you stream on? Yeah, I'm streaming on YouTube, mate. It's also on YouTube Infra. This is also on YouTube, so I'm streaming on both platforms so that I can cover everyone and everything to understand on both platforms. So it is going live on YouTube as well. If you want to check that out, you can as well. Just go to the channel on YouTube, Academia Lab, and you can find the stream up there. To understand, it is working fine on YouTube as well. So it's both platforms. And obviously, you are on both platforms, Infra. That's why you're asking the question. It's fine. I don't mind you here or there. I don't mind you. Hello, Andy. One more time. Andy, one of my favorites. Always here. I hope you're doing well, Andy. I hope you can hear me very well as well. We've got live Fortnite with us. We've got Infra on the second platform. I hope you guys are doing well. Today's topic is going to be about vocabulary. Hello, Infra, one more time. And I'm going to talk about different strategies and different ways to learn new vocabularies. This is a very important topic. Hello, Nada. I hope you're doing well. Thanks a lot for joining and for coming in today. Finally, you're in the live stream. So I'll be talking about vocabulary and what are the best strategies, yeah, to learn new vocabularies, and how do people and English language learners get to learn more vocabularies. You understand? So that is what I wanted to introduce to you today, different strategies and different ways to enrich your vocabularies. Very important, and it's a very exciting topic as well, because I believe that second language learners and all the learners all over the world, yeah, regardless of what language you're trying to study, you kind of have this fear, all right, towards a language if you do not know anything about its vocabulary. That's the problem about students, is that when they don't know anything about the vocabulary related to that language, they fear the language. They don't know, you understand, how to approach that language, how to study that language. Also, they cannot speak the language properly because They do not know any vocabularies. They don't have any vocabularies. You understand? So today, I'm going to teach you the best ways and the best strategies to get and learn those vocabularies. So to be able to learn different types of vocabularies, I'll teach you how to do that. These are the lesson objectives. And to be able to use vocabularies in your speaking and writing as well. So that's what you will learn today. Okay, and this is also for those IELTS students. If you want to register for IELTS and you don't know that IELTS is going to have these different exercises where you have to use new vocabularies, so this lesson is for you as well, right? For IGCSE students, GCSE students, IB students, or different examinations that you're going to take in the future or be part of, right? This here is going to help you out. Okay, this here is going to help you out. So remember that. So apart from that, let me just go to the next slide. And we have the starter. What is our starter? The starter is going to be about new vocabularies. I want you to think about new vocabularies that you've learned recently. And I want you to write down, hello, Amin. I hope you're doing well, mate. Thanks a lot for joining, Amin, on the other platform. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're talking about vocabulary and we're talking about different strategies and different ways to learn different vocabularies. So if you had any vocabularies that you've learned recently, yeah, I want you to type them in the comments and type their definitions as well. If you didn't learn any new vocabularies recently, there is no problem. I've got 2 new vocabularies for you today, right? Very good vocabularies that are my favorite vocabularies that I use as well when I write or when I speak to people. So I'll teach you those vocabularies as well. And if you have any new vocabularies that you want to share with me or you want me to talk about, I can do that today as well. But the main topic today is for you to learn the best ways, right, to enrich your vocabulary. What are the best ways to enrich your vocabulary as a second language learner? We'll do that today. So the first word that I want you to learn is augur. What is augur? What does it mean? Augur means a prophet, okay? And it also means to predict, the way of predicting things, right? And I've got an example for you. His qualities augur a bright future, okay? A bright future for him or for her. Do you understand? So, hello, Abdulaziz. Hello, how are you, mate? I hope you're doing well. Aziz, same vocabularies, you mean new words? Yes, new words, new adjectives, new verbs. Do you understand? New nouns, right? Phrases, even phrases are considered as vocabularies. You need to understand that, Andy. Even phrases are considered as new vocabularies. You understand? And it's amazing because you will use them in your sentences, whether you're writing them or you are having a conversation with the examiner, with the boss, do you understand, in a job interview, or with anyone else. Do you understand? So it's quite important. And this lesson today is going to teach you those vocabularies and how to find the best ways and strategies to learn your vocabularies, which is a struggle to so many students. So the first words that I want to teach you today, or the best vocabulary I want to teach you today, is augur. Okay, augur means a prophet. Okay, someone who is responsible for a certain religion. Okay, that can be augur as well, or to predict something. Okay, the second word I want to teach you today is okay, there is a new word I learned today, vocabularies. Okay, amazing, Andy, that's awesome. There you go. Andy has learned, or I've learned, vocabulary today. That's amazing. I love that. The next word that I want to teach you is encumber. Okay, encumber. So this is a great word. Sounds like a fruit or a vegetable, but it's not. Okay, but it's not. It is encumber. So the first one, augur, is A-U-G-U-R. I think you can see it on the screen, on the PowerPoint. And the second one is E-N-C-U-M-B-E-R. Right? So it means burden or hinder or restrain, in a sense, something that hinders, let's say, the communication, or it is a burden as well. As an example, I said he was encumbered, right, by the new rules. He was encumbered, he was hindered. You understand? He was restrained by the new rules. It means he didn't like the new rules, so he was encumbered by them. He couldn't fully work or do what he wants to do. Do you understand? That's why he was encumbered. You understand? It was a burden. It was something that restrained him, okay, from doing whatever he wants to do. We can also say he was wearing tight shoes, right? So we say he was encumbered by his tight shoes. It means he couldn't walk, right, wearing those tight shoes. That's a new vocabulary as well. This is just a starter to warm you up, okay? And don't worry, Infra. Sorry, I didn't see it on the video. Don't worry, Infra. I'm going to spell it for you anytime. Okay, so it's AUGUR. It means a prophet or to predict something. ENCUMBER, encumber, which means it is a burden or it hinders something or it restrains something. Okay, and I gave you an example there as well. And as I said before, I will put this PowerPoint in the description below, so you can come back later on and download the PowerPoint and keep it on your computer or on your phone if you want to go back to it as well. This is just a starter to warm you up, you guys. So the first thing that you need to know, encumber doesn't also mean tied up. Tied up as in tied up. Yes, it can mean tied up, okay, in a different context. Yes, that is correct, Andy. Yes, encumber, it means also tied up because it's a verb. And yes, it might mean that as well, right? In a different context, yes. And that's why we are having this lesson today. Because today we will talk about contexts and we will talk about themes as well, right? So just focus with me, yeah, and stay tuned because I will teach you the proper ways, yeah, to get these vocabularies in your head, in your mind, and use them every single time without any struggle. This is quite important. So the first thing that you need to know is, why are you learning these vocabularies? What is the purpose? If you have noticed from my previous videos, I always ask you these questions. Why are you learning? Why do you want to learn this? Why do you want to learn that? Because it is important for you to know the purpose of your studies. Why do you want to study? Okay, what's the purpose of this lesson? The purpose of this lesson is to teach you how to learn vocabulary, how to use vocabulary in your speaking or in your writing. Okay, so it was settled from the beginning. You too, you need to have a kind of understanding of what is your purpose. Coming in here, watching this live video, what is the purpose? So what is the purpose behind you learning your vocabularies? Okay, once you know your purpose, you will know where to go from there. This is quite important. Okay, so do you want to learn your vocabularies because you want to go and examine yourself in IELTS? You want to sit for an IELTS exam? Is that the purpose? You're learning your vocabularies? Because if that's the purpose, you need to learn new formal vocabularies. You understand? Academic vocabularies. Depending, there is IELTS for academics and IELTS for tourists. So which one are you going for as well? So once you know your purpose, you will know, okay, what vocabularies to learn. Do you want to learn vocabularies just to talk to your friends because you've got native speakers friends? Or do you want to learn vocabularies because you want to just use it on the internet when gaming with others, when playing with others? Do you understand? Depending on the purpose, that's how you will gain new vocabularies. And that's the path that you will draw to learn new vocabularies. Which is why the first thing that you need to know is learn your purpose. What is the purpose behind this? Why do you want to learn vocabularies? That is very important. Do you have an IGCSE exam coming on? Do you have an IB exam on the way? What do you have on the way that you want to learn vocabularies? So I think I made it clear here. You need to have that goal and have that aim, right? And have that purpose. The second thing that you need to know is that vocabularies are learned through themes and contexts. Okay, and I've given you a lot of examples here. We will go through them all together. Okay, to learn new vocabularies, you need to understand that words and verbs belong to families in English language. Every verb belongs to a family, okay? Just like we belong to families as individuals. So there are different words that belong to different families and different themes and contexts. This is what I said to Andy earlier when she said, in Kamba, does it also mean tied up? I said, yes, it means tied up. However, if it's used in a different context, right? Different than the context I've used it in here in the examples, right? And this is why themes and contexts are very important. So I wrote here, every English word belongs to a family of words, as I said. And of course, all of those words are vocabularies that you can learn. Okay, all of those words all together. I'll give you one theme. The first thing that I want to start with is love. Okay, love. Let's start with love as a theme. If you read a short story or if you watch a movie, yeah, there is always a theme, right? There is always a theme that represents that movie or that short story. That theme can be love. If you want to learn vocabularies based on the theme love or the context of love, then you need to read short stories or books about love, okay? In order to familiarize yourself with vocabularies related to love, like desire, affection, passion, and so on. I gave you a couple of examples. Right? Some people do not know what passion means or affection or desire. I wrote them in capital letters so that you can know that these are new words and new vocabularies related to the word love, related to the theme, related, or they have a different context, right? Another theme can be good versus evil. Good versus evil. This is a very famous theme that we see nowadays in movies and we see nowadays in novels and short stories as well. So you can learn words like protagonist, antagonist, chaos, and so on. Protagonist means a hero. Antagonist means the villain or the evil or the devil of the on the anti-hero, if I may, right? Of the story or of the novel, right? So that's good versus evil. That's the theme. And the words or the vocabularies that are related to that theme are antagonist, protagonist, chaos, problems, destruction. Do you understand? These are the words that are related to this theme in particular. So if you want to learn certain vocabularies, do not mix vocabularies from different themes. Don't do that. Choose one theme and learn as many vocabularies as you can related to that theme, right? Are related to that context. The third theme as well is death. We've got so many themes, by the way, not just these three themes. I've just given you examples. Death is a theme, and you can learn words like aging. If I'm talking about death, okay, of course I'm going to use words like aging, survival, eternal, slaughter. You understand? Killing, whatever. Do you get what I mean? It's because it's death, survival. It's mentioned here. Do you get what I mean? If you talk about death as a theme, okay, or as a context, you need to use these vocabularies. You need to use these words because they are related to the word death. Okay, remember that. You cannot say antagonist. Death, antagonist belongs to this theme. No, antagonist does not, or protagonist does not belong to the word death. You understand? Death has a different context. It is a different theme than the previous themes I've mentioned. It is totally the opposite than love, all right? Or than being alive, okay? So you need to know your purpose, number one. Number two, you need to set a goal. Just say, I want to learn vocabularies that are related to this theme, okay, to this context. I want to use new words and new vocabularies related to a certain context, not to every single context, yeah? If you work in the kitchen, if your job is in the kitchen, if you are a chef, if you are a cook, right? What are the vocabularies that you need to learn? The vocabularies that you need to learn are related to the kitchen. You understand? Are related to that environment, to that theme, to that context. Try to surround yourself with those vocabularies because that's where you belong. You understand? If you are a doctor, you cannot learn vocabularies that are related to police officers, right? Vocabularies that are used by policemen or officers in the street. Do you get what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So you have to learn vocabularies that are related to your field. That is why I told you before, choose a purpose. Once you choose your purpose, you'll be able, right, to determine what theme or what context you want to choose to build your vocabulary. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you understood that as well. Now, I wrote down there, try to learn vocabularies based on a certain theme. So that's the advice, okay, that I give every single second language learner or any other languages, not just English. Do you understand? Always have a theme in mind. Always have a theme in mind. Am I a gamer? Do I play games? Okay, do I need to look for the vocabularies that are used by gamers? Gaming and gamers, do you understand? Do that, no problem. Do you get what I mean? Am I a student? What kind of studies do I study? Am I into medicine? Am I into translation? Am I into English? Am I into literature? Do you understand? These are the themes and the contexts that you need to look for in order to build your vocabulary. Do not ignore that. That is quite important. Okay? So that's the second step. Know your purpose. Determine what theme or what context you want to focus on. Okay? The third thing that I want to talk about is listen to the same topics you read about. Okay? To learn new vocabularies, you need to listen to the same topics you have read about. And I brought an example here for you. I've got a video, right, that I found on the internet, and I found an article, a different article from a different website, yeah? And both the article and the video are talking about the same topic. Okay? So this topic is the same as the topic spoken about in the article. What we will do together, we will watch the video. It's not very long, it's just 2 minutes or so. We will watch it together, yeah? And then we will try to find out if the same words, the same context, as I said before, the same theme, as I said before, is mentioned, right, in the article. When we read the article, we need to find approximately the same words, right, that they were used in the video. Because if that's the case, then we are on the right track. We are on the right path. If that's the case, then we can easily learn new vocabularies because we've listened to them and then we read them, which is quite important. I said beforehand, if you remember the other day from the previous live video, I said, if you remember, I said, if you train your ears properly, you will use your tongue properly. If you learn how to use your ears properly, you will learn how to speak properly. You understand? So that is quite important. So let's watch the video together. And if you can hear the sound of the video, just let me know, because I'm not quite sure if you will hear it or not, yeah? So once you start hearing it, just say, we can hear it, or anyone out there, Andy, Infra, Aziz, anybody.
It was the asteroid after all. A new study confirms that an asteroid impact 66 million years ago, not volcanic eruptions, killed off most of the dinosaurs on Earth. Our study confirms, for the first time quantitatively, that the only plausible explanation for the extinction is the impact winter that eradicated dinosaur habitats worldwide, said study lead author Alessandro Chiarenza of Imperial College London, in a statement. The asteroid strike would have released particles and gases high into the atmosphere, blocking out the sun for years and causing permanent winters, the study said. The only dinos to survive were the species that went on to become birds. We show that the asteroid caused an impact winter for decades, and that these environmental effects decimated suitable environments for dinosaurs, Chiarenza said. Study co-author Philip Mannion, from University College London, explains how the study was done. In this study we add a modeling approach to key geological and climate data that shows the devastating effect of the asteroid impact on global habitats. Essentially, it produces a blue screen of death for dinosaurs. Prior to this study, some researchers had suggested that volcanic eruptions may have caused the extinction event, which wiped out almost 75% of life on Earth. The new study said that in contrast, the volcanoes may have actually helped to boost life after the asteroid hit. After the initial drastic global winter caused by the asteroid, the study suggests that in the longer term, volcanic warming could have helped restore many habitats, helping new life that evolved after the asteroid strike to thrive. We provide new evidence to suggest that the volcanic eruptions happening around the same time might have reduced the effects on the environment caused by the impact, particularly in quickening the rise of temperatures after the impact winter, Chiarenza said. This volcanic-induced warming helped boost the survival and recovery of the animals and plants that made through the extinction, with many groups expanding in its immediate aftermath, including birds and mammals, he said. The study was published Monday in the peer-reviewed journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences.
Okay. So, as you can see, now the video has ended. Okay, now the video has ended. Thank you so much, Usama, for letting me know that you can hear me. Thanks a lot, the Dreamer, that you can hear the video as well. Thanks a lot, and welcome to the live stream, Usama. Thanks a lot for joining us. So as you can see, the video is talking about asteroids impact, not volcanic activity, kill the dinosaurs, study finds. All right, so this is what it talks about, which is okay, no problem, regardless of the fact that you believe in dinosaurs, you don't believe in them, you believe they existed, you don't believe they existed. That's a different topic. We're not going to dig into that and talk about it. But what is quite important here is the vocabularies used and the words used. Okay, the theme and the context. That's what's important. Okay, so we'll listen to this now all together. What we will do, we will go and read the article that I found, yeah, speaking about the same topic, and we will try and see if we can find the same words or the same vocabularies that I mentioned in the video. All right, and bear in mind that we have seen statistics like 75% names of or figures. Do you understand? Sorry, names of university researchers, names of universities as well, London University. So we've seen that. Let's try and go to the article and see whether we're going to find those words or not. Okay, so numbers are the very first things we can see in an article. Okay, numbers are the very first thing we can see in an article. So the first number we see is 75%. All 75 of all life on Earth. This phrase was used in the video. Specifically, okay, this phrase specifically was used in the video. The word destroyed was used in the video. Mass was used in the video. Let's look for more. And as you can see with the mouse, I can show you here 75%. We can also go to words like the Imperial College London, a researchers in new study. This was also used, okay? And I can give you the website of the article and the link for the video from YouTube. Two different, you understand, platforms. An article on Google, on the internet, and a video on YouTube. But they speak about the same theme, the same context, the same topic, right? So that's what you want to do as a learner. As a vocabulary learner, that's what you want to do. You want to limit yourself, okay? You want to limit. Sometimes it is good to limit yourself to certain themes or contexts, certain vocabularies, based on the purpose of your study. Why do you want to study? You understand? Why do you want to learn the new themes? Okay, once you know that purpose, you will directly go and find the theme or the context. you will listen to the theme or the context or the story that speaks about that theme or that context, and then you will read the same topic. Okay, you will read about the same topic and you will find the same words, the same phrases. So it's good to hear those words and then see them in an article. Do you get what I mean? If you do not know what they mean, you can then translate them. And as you can see here, we've read Sciarenza, right? Do you remember this? Sciarenza. It's a name that we have heard in the video. Sciarenza is a name that we've heard in the video, and it's here. It's a researcher. You understand? The word statement was mentioned multiple times as well. Volcanic activity was mentioned multiple times. As I said, 75% was mentioned multiple times as well. Climate, right? Ecosystems was mentioned multiple times. So these are, I'm not going to go through the whole article. This article will be in the description below. I'm not going to go through the article, do you understand? But I just want you to know that what we heard is what we can read, is what we can see, which is why it is very interesting and it is very important, okay, to listen to a topic, get those new words to your subconscious mind, feed your subconscious mind with those new words, and then go and look for the same topic, but it's written, okay, and then read about the same topic. Andy says they should have common vocabulary. Yes, they should have common vocabularies. That is correct. That is correct, 100%. You're not wrong. You're right, Andy. Very good, Andy. They should have common vocabularies. And as you can see, if you can read, you can see that there is common vocabulary. You understand? Massive is there. It was in the video as well. You understand? Common vocabulary. It's amazing. It's amazing. This is my advice to all the learners, is that they need to listen, okay, to something and then read it, but it must be the same topic. I'm not saying read the exact same wording of it, to get I mean. Like Andy said the other day, she said that we listen to a story, we read a story later on. We listen to it as an audiobook and then we read it later on. That is fine. You can do that if you want to. But here we're trying to learn new vocabularies. To do that, there are same topics but different producers, different writers, right? The topics are spoken of from the same perspective, okay, same context, but different way, let's say, okay? Different way, not exactly the same wording of what's in the video, not exactly that. You understand? So remember this, please. And this is an amazing way to do so. This is an amazing point as well. It's an amazing way to do so. This is amazing and it's great, and I advise you to try it. The third one, I suppose, okay, we've spoken about, let me go back a minute. We've spoken about the purpose. We've spoken about choosing the proper theme or context, and then we've spoken about listening to something and then reading the same topic, okay, about the same topic. The fourth thing that we will talk about is using flashcards. Okay, I forgot to put numbers. I'll put numbers next time so that you can relate to this and see it and visualize it, because there are visual learners, and flashcards, by the way, I'll use for visual learners because they've got different colors. And the picture there, as you can see, the picture says the picture here has these colors, different colors, and you can write different vocabularies there with their definitions, to understand, with small letters if you want to, and keep those cards with you. Should we listen first or read? Yeah, no, you should listen first and then read. Nada, you should listen first, okay, to the video, listen to the video first and then read, okay, because you've got two ears, okay, two ears, and if you listen, you are feeding your subconscious mind, all right? And then when you go and read about the same topic, okay, you will remember and your brain will bring back the memories of what you fed to your subconscious mind, to your conscious mind, and you will say, oh my God, I've heard this word before. Do you get what I mean? Oh my God, I've heard this word before. So you will remember those words once you start reading them. Do you get what I mean? That's the amazing part. That's the amazing part. So this is why you should listen first and then read. Okay, thank you so much, Infra. Infra says, I think it's better to listen than read. Totally agree with him. That is correct. Well, maybe one student would say, I want to read then listen. Mate, you can do that, no problem. Do you get what I mean? Be flexible. This is a flexible technique. All right. And by the way, at the end of this video, I'm going to teach you one of the secrets. Okay. It is a technique that I have developed. All right. To become a fluent English speaker. Okay. Using all the vocabularies that you've learned. I'm going to teach you a technique that I have developed myself. Okay. For you to become a fluent English speaker using all the vocabularies that you've learned. So stay tuned and stay with me until the end of the video, because you will like what you're going to hear by the end. Okay? I have shared this technique with so many people, but I haven't done it online. I haven't shared it online with my online friends. Okay, I was about to say students for a moment, but then I was like, oh my God, let's not call these guys students. Okay, friends. All right, friends. All right. So so the fourth thing is use flashcards. Yeah, so use flashcards. What flashcards are? Little cards that you write words to understand on them, and with their definitions if you want to, or vocabularies, new vocabularies with their definitions. Write them down, and you can keep them anywhere you want. Those flashcards are going to help you remember the word and memorize the word as well. So you keep them in front of you. These are very good for those people who learn from, they are visual students. Do you understand? Visual learners. They help them a lot. The visual learners will learn a lot from these flashcards, right? So use them with different colors as well. And colors are known to help you memorize, words or vocabularies. All right. So use flashcards. If you can't find them in the shops, or you can't order them online, you can just make them yourself. Do you understand? Not colored if you want to, just plain white, no problem. Do you get what I mean? Just make it simple for yourself. All right, the new vocabularies. What did I say? You need to make 10 flashcards, 10 cards for one theme, let's say. One theme. Okay, I'm choosing the theme courage. Courage. I'm going to learn 10 vocabularies that represent courage. I'll do that. I'll write 10 vocabularies that represent courage, right, with their definitions, and I'll keep them in those cards. And I'll memorize them. I'll look at them every single time. What I'll do as well is that I put those cards in front of me and I try to write something, right, using those cards. You can cheat if you want to, no problem. It's not considered cheating. You can cheat if you want to. Let's say you are facing your computer and you are on your website. You want to write a post, right? You want to write a post for your fans, a post for your family. Do you understand? You want to write an invitation card, whatever. You get what I mean? Get those flashcards and try to use some of the new vocabularies that you learned, right? Cheat. Look at the spelling. Do you get what I mean? Remind yourself of the definition and write that short paragraph. Write that post, right? Write that sentence. Why not? Do you get what I mean? Because once you start using them and typing them, right, or writing them by hand, then you will be able to use them in a conversation later on. Okay, this is very important. That's what will happen. Okay, you will be able to use them in a conversation later on. So do that. These cards are amazing. Okay, these cards are amazing. You can make them yourself, as I said, at home. And please focus on the themes when you do that. Okay, use a theme based on the purpose while you're learning new vocabularies. Yeah, choose a theme. Choose 10 vocabularies that are related to that theme and write them down. Okay, you can choose a different theme and choose other 10 vocabularies that are related to that different theme. I wrote them down, and then you put them somewhere. Do you get what I mean? Or you've hidden them somewhere. Memorize the first ones, use them in a paragraph or a post or whatever, and then go back to the other ones you've hidden, right? And get them back and try to learn from them as well. This is my advice to those who are using the flashcards. The flashcards are very amazing. It's an advice that I give all of you. Use them, okay? Because there are certain things that we do to memorize. To help your memory, okay? To help your memory, you need to limit your memory to one thing only. Limit your memory. To limit your memory, I'm going to tell my memory, this is why I'm studying new vocabularies. Okay? I limited my memory a little bit. Do you get what I mean? I'm studying this because I have an IELTS exam. I limited my memory to IELTS exam vocabulary like. And then I'll tell my memory, I want to learn vocabularies that are related to 3 themes only. Just 3 themes. Education, hobbies, and the hobby that I want to learn the vocabulary about is, let's say, gaming. And the third thing is, I don't know, my future work, let's say policeman, an officer, a teacher. Do you get what I mean? So I limit myself as well. I limit myself even more, right? I put a target. And then what I do, I start listening to videos that are related to those topics or those themes. And then what I do, I will read articles or books or short stories or paragraphs that speak about the same topics that I've read about or that I've heard. You understand? The videos speak about. Then what I'll do, I'll get cards and I'll write the new vocabulary words that I've learned from the reading and the listening. Okay, and the reading and the listening were based on the themes that I've chosen before. Those flashcards are going to have definitions, okay, and then I'm going to learn from them. So this is the process, right? I think it's a perfect process. It's very easy to follow, and it's sophisticated as well, and it's well organized. You understand? It is well organized for those learners and sophisticated learners, because some of us are not random, right? Some of us are very organized and they like to organize their stuff. Like, oh God, I want to do this like this. I want to do it that way. Do you understand? I mean, they're very organized, and this is a very good way for those who are organized with their ideas, okay? Not messy like me. Moving on. So now let's talk about the final step, which is talking to yourself. Okay, some of you are already crazy. You're already doing this. Okay, you're already talking to yourselves. God knows about what. Do you understand? Looking at the mirror, talking to yourselves. It's fine. Listen, I'm not here to judge you. You already, do you understand, crazy. That's okay. No problem. All right. And we all did that before. We all spoke to ourselves, looking at the mirror. We've all done it, even without the mirror. Do you understand what I mean? Trust me. Even without the mirror, we've done it. We've spoken to ourselves, and we just, do you understand, created these imaginary characters in our heads, and we've done that. Do you understand? But again, this step right here is for you to finalize what you have done before. Okay, I use the flashcards, as I said. I use the cards. I've written something about what is in the cards. Okay, the final thing is, I will not talk to people. I talk to myself. Okay, I will talk to myself. I wrote here, with or without a mirror, talk to yourself whenever, wherever possible. Whenever you are. Do you understand? Free or wherever you are free. Do you understand? If you're alone, some people, they like to talk when they are in their bedroom, when they are in the shower, when they are, do you understand, doing whatever. People like to talk to themselves when they are in different situations or in different places. So you can do that as well. Okay, you can talk to yourself if you are in those situations or those places. Okay, if you find yourself in those situations, talk to yourself. And I'm going to teach you a very important technique. And this is the technique that I'm going to teach you now. Those people who want to become fluent speakers, okay, I'm going to teach you something that you haven't heard about before. You've never heard about this before, because I have developed this technique myself. Okay, and I have never shared it on the internet. I've shared it with my students face to face. Okay, I've shared it with my students face to face, with those students who wanted to become fluent in English, who wanted to become very good speakers, right? I've shared it with them and we've exercised it, and it was amazing. And I'm going to share it with you as well, okay? So I'm not going to call you lucky, because I don't believe in luck. But again, I'm going to call you very good people, because you are here, you are watching, you are participating, which means you are interested and you are learners. So you deserve to know this technique. So the technique is, I wrote here a new way that I developed myself to help you become a better speaker. So I hope you're ready for this, because I am. So what you need to do, it is similar as talking to yourself, but I want you to start talking to yourself from now on if you want to become very fluent, okay, very fluent with the English. And if you want to become an English thinker, not an English speaker, an English thinker, someone who thinks in English, not just speaks in English, do you understand? Use this technique, and I promise you, within 2 weeks, you will become so fluent in English. Within 2 weeks, I promise you. Okay, this is a promise, and this is a live video. In 2 weeks, you become very good, you understand, or speak in English. So what you need to do is, you need to talk to yourself in a fast way, saying anything in English. Anything. With mistakes, without mistakes. Do not stop for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Do not stop. You get what I mean? And say anything, any word that comes to mind, any English word. And this technique, I've studied this technique before I started using it with my students. I've studied it very well, you understand? And this technique helps the flow of ideas, the flow of words, the flow of new vocabularies that you've learned before come from your subconscious mind to your conscious mind. And when you do that, you are forcing your subconscious mind to send as many information, as many words to your conscious mind as needed in a specific period of time. And when you train your brain to do that every single time, your brain get used to it, and you become fluent at speaking English. I'll give you an example of how to do that. I'm going to try it right now, okay? So right now I'm talking to you, and I'm talking, and I'm not listening, I'm talking. I don't need to stop, because if you stop, then you have to try again. If you try again, it doesn't work that way. You don't need to stop. You keep talking, regardless if you make mistakes, if you use the past, the present, whatever. If you scramble, if you use a different word, if you use the words that never existed, whatever, it don't make sense. Maybe I'm making sense right now because I've done this a lot of times, and I've used this whatever before or later or again, or you see I'm using different words that do not really make sense. Phone, table, whatever. If you run out of words, start using words that you've used every single day, like fingers, hands, head, eyes. Bring words from your subconscious mind and put them in your conscious mind. Do you understand? Just use different words. Do not stop talking. Breathe from time to time. I'm not asking you to die, for God's sake. Do you understand? But again, try to do this every single time. Computer, phone, cup. I don't know what to say. I'm so confused. Oh my God, help me out. Lamp, whatever, light, curtains, whatever. Just talk. Do you get what I mean? Don't stop. If you stop, you fail. Don't stop a thing, and do not use the word like. I'll talk about the word like in the next slide, but I'm just trying to tell you this is how to do it. You're not rapping, you're not singing, but you're just trying to put words together. They do make sense or do not make sense regardless. Do you understand? Just do this every single time, every single night, every single day. Do it twice a day if you can, and after 2 weeks you become perfect. Do you understand? This is the technique. I made sense, okay? Maybe, but I want you to do it, and I don't want you to make sense, okay? I want you to use random words. All right, random words, just use without, with, whatever. I don't know. Should I sit? Should I go? Should I stay? I don't know. Did they come? Whatever. Okay, let's do this. Let's not do it. Whatever. All right, listen, don't listen. Do this, do that. This is it. This is what you need to do. When you do this for a long period of time, okay, when you do this for a long period of time, you will help your subconscious mind get as many information, right, as your conscious mind need to become an English thinker, all right, and a fluent English speaker. Okay, this technique will get you to speak English fluently in no time. Seriously, in no time. All right, in no time. So try to use this technique. If you find this technique useful, write down something in the comments below. Do you understand? If you think it's an interesting technique as well, write down something in the comments below. And I want you to start using this technique twice a day, whenever you're alone. Do you understand? Because it is a little bit crazy if you use this technique with people around. Do you get what I mean? People around you will just, Nada goes, wow. People around you will think you're crazy. You already are for talking to yourself. Do you understand? Take that from me. But again, we are all crazy in a way or two. Okay, but again, use this technique when you're alone because you need to speak up a bit. Do you get what I mean? You don't need to whisper when you use this technique because you need to raise your voice a little bit. Do you get what I mean? Like I did, like I'm talking to you right now. Do you understand? And also, please, when you do this, try to do it twice a day. All right, do it twice a day. If you can, do it once a day, but do it every single day for 2 weeks. Every single day for 2 weeks. If you do this every single day for 2 weeks for 2 minutes, okay, and then you rest a little bit, you do this and that, and then you do it. The more you do it within a day, the better for you. After 2 weeks, get back to me and have a conversation with me and tell me I'm not fluent in English. You lied to me. I promise you, you will be surprised of the results. You will be surprised of the results. You will tell me, sir, I've never tried this before. I've done it, thought it was crazy. I've struggled before. And yes, you will struggle before. When you start doing it, you will do 10 seconds and then you stop and you start thinking of words. You know what is that? That is called the flow of ideas. You haven't trained your subconscious mind to bring words to your conscious mind. It's your flow of ideas. That's why. But once you do it again and again and again and again, and you try it multiple times, what happens to that flow of ideas? It becomes just something easy and fluent. And your brain picks up those words easily from conscious mind. They become one, your conscious and subconscious mind. And those words become easy for you to pronounce. And you will not translate words anymore in your head. You will become a thinker. You will become an English thinker. And you will become fluent. All right? Remember this. This is what I want you to remember. And this is what will happen. Okay? If you try this technique, if you use this technique, start using this technique from today, you guys. It is an amazing technique that will help you a lot with the English language. Okay, it will help you a lot with the English language. Use this technique. This is an amazing technique. Okay, and let me know if this technique helped you or not later on when we talk, when we meet. You understand? Because I've done it to my students and I've seen how they developed, how they've learned. Do you understand? They've become better English learners, and it was an amazing technique as well for them. So that's it. And something that I want to talk about before we move on to the next slide, I think, which is the last one. Is it the last one? Oh yeah, use the vocabulary that you've learned. This is the last one, yes. So I want to talk about the word like. The word like, okay? The word like, for me, it is problematic, okay? So I do not advise learners of English to use the word like every single time. I'll give you an example. Some people, when they talk, they say, so I wanted to do this degree like medicine, but then when I did it, it was like very hard. Do you understand? I'm talking like those people, right? I said I'm talking like those people, and like here is an example. I'm talking, do you understand? Such as, do you understand? Certain people, right? But the thing is, they put the like in places where it does not belong. Do you get what I mean? And like should be put in places where it belongs. You say like when you're giving an example, when you say I like you or I like this, but you don't use like, right, in the middle of random words or random sentences. You understand? It's very important. And so many people do it. I don't know how to do it fully like them, okay? And I said like them, right? The way they do it. I'm giving an example, okay? But they do it better. I don't know how to do it like them, to be honest. But they talk and then they say like in the middle of the sentence, at the end of the sentence. You understand? Which is not very good, okay, for speakers of English. So be careful to not use like when you talk. And I always say, if you use like 11 times when you talk to people, you are not a good speaker of English, even if you are a native speaker, because native speakers, they say like all the time, which is wrong in so many levels. That's why they're not academics. They don't know what academia is all about. So if you use like about 7 times, you really need to go back and start studying English a little bit. Do you understand? If you use like about 3 times, then you're okay, but you shouldn't be using it. Do you understand? So as a learner or as a speaker, an English speaker, you need to say 0 likes, okay, when you talk to people. Do you understand? That's it. Just say like when you give an example. Say like when you tell someone how you feel about them or how you feel about something. I like this computer. I don't like this computer. Do you understand? That's it. Do not use like where it doesn't belong, because people do that, and maybe some of you do that. You understand? So be careful. That is wrong in so many levels. Don't do that. So moving on. No, wait. Plenary, which is the light slide, obviously. This is use the vocabulary you've learned. This is the last step. The vocabulary that you've learned, that you've used when you spoke to yourself, to understand non-stop. Use that vocabulary to write short paragraphs, posts, or articles if you want to, and use the new vocabularies in your conversations when you talk to people. Okay, do that. This is very important, and I know so many of you want to learn vocabularies because they want to write, obviously, or they want to speak to other people. If you have an IELTS exam, you need to write something down and you need to use those vocabularies that you've learned. Right? If it is a listening exam, a speaking exam, if it's a listening exam, you are listening to new vocabularies and you will write them down. Maybe you are already familiar with those vocabularies, so it's something good for you because you will not misspell those vocabularies. Okay? If it is a speaking exam, so you know new vocabularies, so the examiner will be happy to talk to you. All right? Regardless. And by the way, in speaking exams, the examiner will talk about one theme, one topic, one context. He will not talk about different topics. It will be one single topic, which means, as I said before, if you've already chosen a certain topic and you've learned all vocabularies about that topic, yeah, the conversation with the examiner will not be very difficult. Even if the topics just come random, do you understand? Chooses a different topic for you and says, let's talk about visiting, I don't know, neighboring countries, whatever. Do you get me? Like traveling and whatever. Do you get me? You will be ready if you've already learned the vocabularies that are related to the theme of traveling or travel or tourism, right? If you've learned those words, you put them in those flashcards that I've taught you before, yeah, you can then have the conversation with the examiner easily. So you're learning to write, you're learning to have conversations with others. Use them. Use the vocabularies that you've learned throughout all of this process, throughout all of this course, to talk to people. The plenary, which is the end of this PowerPoint, which is the end of this live video, I'm going to go through what we've learned so far. Okay, number 1, why do you want to learn vocabulary? The purpose. Okay, you need to have a good idea about why you want to learn vocabularies. Why? You want to learn vocabularies because you have an exam, because you have this, because you want to talk to people, because you've got native speakers friends, because there are so many purposes, so many reasons. Pick one and focus on it. Step number 2, use themes and context to learn new vocabularies. Use themes and context. Limit yourself to a certain theme and learn vocabularies related to that theme or that context. Do not mix things up. Do not mix vocabularies from different themes, different contexts, because your brain cannot process that. Yes, your brain can process that, but it will take a long period of time. You don't want that. You want to learn as soon as possible, to understand very fast. Number 3, read about the same topics you listen to. If you listen to certain topics okay, certain themes, read about the same topics you listen to. Don't read about different or other topics if the purpose is to study or learn new vocabularies. Number 4, use cards. Okay, use different flashcards, write vocabularies and their definitions. And the vocabularies that you need to write are the vocabularies you've read or listened to based on the themes you've chosen. Okay. The last one is talk to yourself. All right, talk to yourself. And as I said before, I've given you the best technique to do that, which is talk to yourself for 2 to 3 minutes non-stop. Do not stop. Breathe only and use different words. Make mistakes. Do you understand? Instead of saying establish, say establish. I don't know, say it with ta, to, ti. Do you understand? Make different sounds, whatever. Do you get what I mean? It doesn't really matter. Do you get what I mean? Just make different sounds. Just talk and do not stop talking. That's it. That's very important. Do not stop talking. Just keep talking, and it doesn't make sense, no problem. Keep talking. Right? Repeat words if you have to, but do not stop. Once you stop, you have to do it again. You have to do it again. You need to go with no stop. Do you understand? That is very important. So that is the technique that I taught you today as well when it comes to talking to yourself, which is the last technique if you want to become a thinker. Okay, you want to think in English properly, if you want to become a fluent speaker of English, and if you want to use the vocabularies that you've learned in your speaking without you knowing it. Do you understand? Because you fed all those new vocabularies to your subconscious mind. You want to get them from your subconscious mind to your conscious mind, and you want to do it in a very easy process, in a very easy way. The last step, which was talk to yourself basically, but the last step is use the vocabularies you've learned writing and speaking. So use those vocabularies to write posts, paragraphs, postcards, whatever, messages to people, to understand sentences, and speak to others when you talk to them on the phone, when you have them face to face. Do you understand? When you go to the store, when you have phone conversations on the phone, try to use those vocabularies because you've already used them with yourself. You've already seen them in the flashcards. You've already read them in the books, and you've already listened to them from the videos or the audio tracks, and you've already highlighted them in a certain theme or context, okay, that you've chosen before. So this is the plenary. This is all about today's lesson, which is vocabulary. So you know now how to learn your vocabulary. You know now what to do to learn your vocabulary. You know now what are the best steps. What are the steps that you need to follow to become a good vocabulary learner, right? To enrich your vocabulary and to become fluent, to become a good thinker, all right? A good thinker in English, if I may. So thank you so much. These are my websites if you want to check them out. The first one is the general website, academialab.net. You can check that out for different articles if you want to read. If you're listening to something, let's say historical, I have historical articles written by me in my website. If you're listening to something educational, I've got educational articles in my website as well, or poems if you want to read them as well. And the three next websites are for tests that I've introduced before. Okay, the first one is the beginner's test. If you want to test your level in English language, you can do that through this test. The first one is for the beginners, the second one is for intermediate, and the third one is for advanced. Andy says please post those links on YouTube after. I will do that. Yes, Andy, no problem. I will post these links, and I've posted them on the video before, but I'll do it on this video as well with the PowerPoint. So I'll say that again. If you want to test your English level, right, you can try these tests on my website. They will give you the tests and it will say congratulations. If you have succeeded, you can go to the next part, which is intermediate or advanced. If it says F, sorry, you need to hit the books again, whatever, then you need to know that you haven't succeeded, right, passing the test. So you need to do it again, or you need to start, you need to go back, try to focus on some of the videos that I've done regarding mistakes speakers of English make. Do you understand what I mean? A lot of videos that I've spoken about on my channel as well about that. Try to take a look at those and listen to them before you go through the tests, because there are a couple of tricks. You understand? So thank you so much, guys. This is it. If you have any questions, please, the floor is open. You can ask me anything, basically. Maybe I didn't cover everything. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I left something somewhere. You understand? So ask me anything, or give me any remarks, any comments, anything you want to say. I'm still here. Any questions? Anything in particular you want to learn about, understand? Maybe topics for future videos. If you want me to talk about something specific, if you want to learn about something, you understand, no worries, Andy, don't worry about it. You are welcome. I'm here to do this. It's fun. Don't worry about it. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for being part of this video, Andy. So if you have any topics you want me to talk about next time, you can also write a comment below and tell me, I want you to talk about this topic or that topic, to understand, or what are the best strategies to do this or to do that, to understand. I can help you out with that, no problem. So find out what are your weaknesses. I might be able to help. Okay. So I don't think you've got any questions. So thank you so much, guys, for being such good sport. Thank you so much for coming in here, for listening to me, and I've had fun. It was amazing. I hope you've learned, and see you next time in the next video. Wait, Nada says, what do you think about flashcards application on mobiles? Yes, I've seen those flashcards on mobiles, on mobile phones. I've seen them. Are they helpful? Yes, they are helpful. I'll tell you why. Because, but there is also a drawback to them. Do you understand? I'll tell you why it is. You see, when you use your phone, you receive messages, you receive phone calls, there is a distraction. Do you understand what I mean? It's the same, but there is a distraction. You receive messages, you receive phones, so you will step away from those flashcards and not use them anymore, or you will use them for a limited period of time, which is not good. So it's better to have a physical, do you get what I mean? Just like reading from a physical book rather than reading from a digital book. You understand? So many people prefer the physical copy rather than the digital copy, right? The flashcards are the same thing. If you make them, do you understand? And you write with them with your hand, do you get me? You write with your hand. That process of writing will help you memorize the word. Okay, so these are the benefits of writing on the flashcard, or of having a physical flashcard, because nothing will distract you or disturb you when you're learning. You understand? You will just learn from the flashcard. If you receive a message, you will not see it on your phone. You will not see anything that would disturb your learning, right? So once you have the flashcards, you can see them, you can touch them, right? That's the thing. And our memories, they remember even how we wrote the words. You understand? How we wrote the A, the B, how it's written. You get what I mean? If you've got a visual memory, you can see the words in front of you. The words are written the way you wrote them in the flashcard. You get what I mean? So it's a very good way to use the physical cards rather than the digital cards. If you don't have any papers, you don't have any pens, you don't know how to write, you understand? You can use the digital cards, right? If you have papers, you've got a pen and you can write, you've got hands, no problem, then you can use the cards, the physical ones, because those are the cards I would like you to use, because they are very helpful, right? They don't limit your memory. That's it. Nada. Any other questions? I hope that answers your question, by the way. There is a delay on the video. The delay is crazy. Delay is crazy. I've asked if you have any more questions or if you understood me a minute ago. And I think now, yeah, I stopped talking about that. Wow. That was a minute ago. There is a delay in the video, but no problem. It's okay. Let's see if we've got any questions. If Nada understood. Yes, thanks. Thank you. Okay, awesome. 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 Thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot again. Thank you, Infra. Thank you, Nada. Thank you, Andy. Thank you so much, The Dreamer. Thanks a lot for being here, Abdulaziz. Thank you, Live Fortnite. So thanks a lot, guys. Thank you so much for being here, Usama. Thank you, Amin. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the presentation. Thanks a lot and see you next time. Peace.